Most people's anger at you is a reaction to your fear, your fearful act of aggression. For example, the aggressive tone in your voice. I say this all the time, but somehow it doesn't sink in. The identification doesn't change, the habit doesn't change. You know? Your politics is based on fear. Your relationship with the neighborhood is based on fear. Your relationship with your children is based on fear. Your relationship with your spouse is based on fear. And you can't get out of it. It's based on these four urges. Because you have not made these four urges into fountains of wisdom and inspiration. Because you do logical thinking, but you don't do contemplation. No. So that is the purpose of silence. Disidentification and seeking the independence of the mind. Your mind no longer dependent on that and that and that and this and that one and that person and that one over there. All your addictions are based on these four. Addictions you can't come out of based on that. Your survival instinct based on fear. It's not survival instinct, it's fear instinct. You're afraid of losing your accustomed ground. You're afraid of losing your accustomed identifications. And yet your identifications change every day. You're not today what you were yesterday. And you will not be 10 years from now what you are today. Willy-nilly, no matter what, your identification keeps changing. Some decades back you were a daughter. Now you are a mother. And what you used to say about your mother, your daughters say about you. And some decades back you were a daughter-in-law, you are a mother-in-law. And what your daughter-in-law says, when you used to say what you used to say as daughter-in-law, now your daughter-in-law says about you. So, continuous change of identifications, and you are afraid of disidentifying with the core identifications that I am the body. I am this accustomed egotistical mind. In our ashram we teach, among other things, the texts of Shankaracharya, the one who reorganized our monastic order 12 centuries ago. and gave all this system of Vedantic contemplation. And I want to introduce you to two of his texts. I marked some pages, but I've already spoken to you for an hour and 20 minutes. So, I'll read to you again more tomorrow. One text is called Upadesha Sahasri, 1,000 homilies. It's a very difficult text. The subject of this text is how should a guru lead a disciple, by what arguments, by what philosophical arguments the guru, the Vedantic guru, should lead a disciple towards liberation. And those arguments are given in these chapters. And the other text, Viveka Chudamani, crest jewel of discrimination. Crest jewel of discrimination, discriminating wisdom. No? I will not read to you all of it in Sanskrit, but allow me at least one paragraph in the original. Then I'll try to give you a little bit of his argument. Keep the food ready. It will be done in 10 minutes. Mumukshunam upatta punya punyakshapan paranam apurva nupachayarthinam parisankhyanam idamuchyate avidya hetavo dosha vang manah kaya pravritti hetavah pravrittescha ishtanishta mishra phalani karmani upachiyante iti tan mokshartham. Those who are seekers of liberation, for them this way of wisdom is being given because they are intent upon dropping the forces of the merit and demerit that they have so far gathered as their karmas. They who are no longer seeking to gather the fruitions of their actions. They realize that all the flaws of life are based on ignorance. All the faults that we experience in life are derived from avidya, from ignorance, from non-self, from non-knowledge of self. And these flaws are simply stated as the causes of our inclinations of indulgence into acts of speech, mind, and body. From these inclinations, all the karmas arise and are gathered. From our inclinations to indulge, all the karmas are gathered, whose fruits are desirable ones, undesirable ones, and mostly mixed ones. All your experiences of sound, touch, form, taste, smell, they come through your senses, such as your ears, And within yourself and in all others, you have no discriminatory